Only you can make all this world seem right. Only you.
Havana, the capital of Cuba, on the north coast facing the Gulf of Mexico, is today one of the most progressive cities of the Western Hemisphere. A bird's-eye view of the city reveals the many landmarks of its progress and growth.
Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do, and to fill my heart with love for only you.
Ooh, I knew it when I met him. I loved him when I left him. Got me feeling like ooh, and then I had to tell him I had to go. Oh na 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 na, Havana, ooh na na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh na na.
Good day, first world travellers, and welcome back. Today I am in Havana, Cuba, and in this video I'm exploring the central area and also Old Havana, an area full of colour, full of history, full of architecture, and most of all full of the amazing old style cars that you see driving around everywhere in Havana. So on that note, let's go. So welcome to a very sunny Monday morning in Havana, Cuba. I am in the central area, just down the road from the Capitol building, which is one of the key monuments in central Havana. But first of all, let's just talk about the cars, because let's face it, that's probably the reason you've come to this video. And it is one of the main things you think of when you think of Havana or Cuba in general. So why are these cars here? Why are there old style American Buicks and Dodges, etc. driving around here? So in a nutshell, it's all to do with the Cuban Revolution, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, the embargo that America placed on Cuba, and the nuclear missile crisis. As a result of all of this, they basically couldn't import cars into the country from elsewhere. But there is one thing that I didn't expect, to be honest. So as well as the old American cars, there's a lot of old Soviet Union cars, and this is as a result of the relationship that Cuba had with the Soviet Union at that time. Just look up the nuclear missile crisis. Hey man, Cubans are very interested in what I'm doing, by the way. Yeah, and the thing about these cars is that when you look online and things like that, you see them all looking in immaculate condition. These are generally like the taxis, the like unregistered, unmetered taxis that you can get everywhere, or the vehicles that you can do a tour in. And I'll put some details down below of some companies that you can do tours with. But the great thing as well is that you walk around, especially in the less well-off areas, and you see all these cars driving around, and they are in the condition you would think they would be in, you know, considering they are, you know, 70, 80 years old, which is amazing. And you know, a lot of people talk about Havana as being a time warp place. That's exactly what it is, and the cars are just one aspect of that. There's so many more aspects which I'll go into in other videos. Now I'm going to share with you a money-saving tip, especially if you're a long-term budget traveller like me and you're not staying in a resort. Across the road from the Capitol building are some amazing places down here where you can get some food, paying with the local Cuban currency, and I'm going to cover the two currencies in another video. So basically down here you've got a place where you can get a burger for 8 Cuban pesos, you can get an ice cream for 1 Cuban peso, and another place just there, the drink space, 1 Cuban peso for a little glass of fizzy drink basically. And I'll put the equivalent in US dollars, etc. down the bottom. As you can see, it is monumental and extremely affordable if you come to these sorts of places and if you're prepared to pay with the local currency. And in terms of getting around this area, in terms of taxis, there's a number of different options you've got. So as I mentioned, the old American cars are one form of taxi. There is the black and yellow cab, which most likely you would have got from the airport. There's the small little yellow Coco taxis, and also like a bike one as well, also horses. So there's numerous options. The thing to remember about this is that I've yet to find one with any sort of meter, so it's important that you decide on the price, you agree on the price before you even get in the taxi, because you don't want to get scammed. I've been lucky so far, not had an issue, but you know, you just gotta have your wits about you.
Te amaré hasta el amanecer y en tus ojos me perderé. Te haré prisionera de mi amor y tus besos robaré.
We've now taken a walk to Old Havana, the home of colour, the home of colonial architecture, museums, restaurants, art galleries, and more. Let's take a look around. Okay, I'm in this plaza and I've just got this amazing ice cream at that little place over there. It's actually in a coconut shell and it's lemon flavour. There's lots of different ones like chocolate, things like that. Yes, it's 2 convertible pesos or $2, but I'm in a tourist area and that's what you expect. This is stunning. It's probably some of the best ice cream I've ever had. The lemon taste is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I need to think about the adjectives. It's beautiful. 2 pesos for this. There's tons. It's literally like a half coconut shell. The lemon taste is beautiful. So sharp. Gorgeous. This is heaven. I could literally spend all day in this plaza eating this ice cream. You've got all these awesome buildings, different colours. You've got like classical music in a building up there. This is lovely. This is why I travel, okay? It's awesome. Just leave me here eating ice cream all day and I'll be fine. See you in the next video. When you get to the old town, there is a really helpful map up here. So some of the areas that I will point out will be Plaza de San Francisco, number 15. There we go, that's where we are now. The one underneath it is where we had the ice cream. And I'm going to go to Plaza de Armes, which is another famous area in Old Havana. And as you can see, there's so many cathedrals, churches, all sorts of stuff you can see around here. Amazing architecture. It's off the scale. And over there, of course, we have some more cars. Now, something's happened that I didn't expect. This place, Old Havana, really reminds me of somewhere that I've been previously on my channel. Can you guess where? It's Sorrento in Italy, largely because of the European style buildings, the colours of the buildings, the kind of shops that are around, the plazas that are everywhere, and the fact that it's near the sea. It feels completely like Sorrento, and the fact that I've had ice cream as well. If you remember that video, I overdosed on ice cream. This area is just stunning. I could walk around here forever. There's so many places to go. There's also a couple of museums, which I'm going to investigate next up. I'm now at Plaza de Armes, one of the key areas in Old Havana. Just listen to a bit of this, it's amazing. I can't even get the words out. Cuban music in the background at a restaurant. Plaza over there. This is stunning. Let's go have a look.
Me perderé, te haré prisionera de mi amor.
So I mentioned museums, and there's many museums in this area. There's an archaeology museum, there's a rum museum, there's a planetarium up there that I can't find. But one of the lesser known museums is, you can't see my face now, but never mind, it's the Museo del Chocolate. Yes, Chocolate Museum. And you might know that I went to one in Mexico, and you can check that out up above. I'll link it in a card. To be honest with you, there's no point in going in there to show you anything because it's more like a cafe with an attached few display areas. I'm not sure of the history of chocolate in Cuba compared to the history of chocolate in Mexico, but you know, it's a little interesting museum to go to. The smell of it in there is amazing. You can smell the chocolate, it's beautiful. So yeah, there's lots of museums you can go to. I might head to the Rum Museum now. Check that out. So it appears the Rum Museum doesn't exist either. So I've come to where it told me on Maps Me. There's a couple of restaurants. One looks like an abandoned building or some sort of police building, I don't know. Yeah, Rum Museum doesn't exist. If you know where it is, please tell me in the comments. So I found the mysterious Rum Museum. It was one of the bars I was saying about, or restaurants. It's $7 to get in, but it's with a guided tour only and you can't video. So I'm gonna go in, I'll let you know how it is after. Okay, I've come somewhere a little bit quieter to describe the Rum Museum. It was awesome. I would absolutely recommend coming here when you're in Havana. So I'm not normally one for guided tours, but this one was informative, it was interesting. It was about an hour, I suppose, I think. I've lost concept of time because I've been drinking rum, only a little bit. But it tells you all about the production of sugarcane, molasses, which you can actually taste. It's like a licorice stroke treacle syrup kind of mixture, very nice. And you see like a model factory, fermentation, distillation. See, I've been learning today. And one thing I didn't realise was that there's so many different types of Cuban rum. There's loads of them, and the most expensive one is about $1,700 for a bottle, and it's between 50 and 100 years old in terms of aging. This is amazing. This is what travel is about. It's about learning things. So, and just a couple of things. You do have to book this tour, potentially. I did just walk in. I had to wait about an hour because the next English tour was an hour later. And it costs $7 or $7 effectively. So, yeah, wonderful. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look around Old Havana. I certainly have. I love Havana. It's awesome. Next up is a very special video. Then there's a video from New Havana and also an obligatory Havana advice and tips video. So stay tuned for that, and if you want to catch those videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.
When you hold my